Under the modernization drive known as Horizon 3, the armed forces of the Philippines is quietly transforming from a force dependent on outdated equipment into one that aspires to possess a credible, mobile, and modern backbone. For decades, the Philippine Army was forced to rely on aging M113 armored personnel carriers and V-150 commando vehicles, relics of an earlier era. These platforms were sufficient for counter-insurgency operations against lightly armed opponents, but they lacked the protection, mobility, and firepower needed to confront a more sophisticated adversary or operate effectively in the contested spaces of the South China Sea. Against this backdrop, Manila's acquisition of the Guarani armored vehicle and the Sabrah light tank is not merely about new machines. It represents a deliberate attempt to forge a coherent, mechanized identity for its ground forces. The introduction of the Guarani 6x6 armored personnel carrier marked the first concrete step toward this goal. Produced by Iveco in Brazil, the Guarani provides a highly mobile and versatile platform capable of transporting troops quickly across difficult terrain while offering protection against small arms fire and shrapnel. It also features the option to mount remote weapon stations, usually armed with heavy machine guns or automatic grenade launchers, giving it more punch than the legacy fleet. In the Philippines, where the Army has traditionally been light infantry-centric, the Guarani brings an essential dimension of mobility and survivability. It can ferry troops into contested areas while keeping them shielded from ambushes and improvised explosive devices, threats that have long characterized the country's internal conflicts. In essence, the Guarani is a bridge, lifting the Army from the realm of light, foot-mobile units to a force that begins to understand the logic of mechanization. But mobility alone cannot secure the battlefield. Recognizing this, Manila moved forward with the acquisition of the Sabrah light tank, a bold step that adds genuine firepower to its formations. Signed with Israel's Elbit Systems in 2021, the deal brings in both tracked and wheeled variants, Ascod 2 and Pandur 2 platforms equipped with a 105mm gun system. This is not a symbolic purchase. It is a statement of intent. For a country that has never operated tanks in large numbers, the introduction of Sabrah provides a completely new capability. Armed with a modern fire control system, thermal sights, and capable armor protection, the Sabrah offers the Philippine Army the ability to engage fortified positions, enemy vehicles, and even provide deterrence against amphibious incursions. Its arrival signals a shift from a force focused on low-intensity counterinsurgency to one that aspires to conventional warfighting competence. The synergy between Guarani and Sabrah is where the Philippine Army's transformation truly takes shape. Guarani delivers the troops, ensures maneuverability, and provides reconnaissance capability. Sabrah delivers the punch, ensuring that infantry advancing in armored vehicles have the fire support needed to seize and hold ground. Together, they represent a combined arms nucleus around which future doctrine can be developed. In urban terrain, Guarani can carry squads into contested blocks, while Sabrah provides overwatch with its 105mm gun. In jungle or mountainous regions, Guarani ensures speed, while Sabrah provides the deterrent against entrenched enemies. And in the defense of island territories, this combination promises to deliver both rapid deployment and credible firepower, two qualities sorely lacking in previous decades. Strategically, the introduction of these systems has meaning far beyond tactical calculations. They symbolize Manila's determination to modernize despite budget constraints and regional pressure. The Philippines is signaling to both allies and adversaries that it is no longer content to remain reliant on outdated hardware supplied secondhand by partners. By investing in platforms like Guarani and Sabrah, the country is buying not just vehicles, but also the knowledge, training, and doctrine necessary to sustain a modern army. Moreover, these acquisitions are intertwined with broader geopolitical choices. Israel, through Elbit Systems, is emerging as a key supplier, joining the ranks of the United States, South Korea, and Australia in shaping the Philippine arsenal. This diversification of defense partnerships ensures Manila does not remain overly dependent on one supplier, while also strengthening its diplomatic leverage. The road ahead is equally significant. Having secured mobility with Guarani and firepower with Sabrah, the next logical steps are clear. Acquiring longer-range artillery such as the Atmos 155mm self-propelled howitzer, expanding the use of drones for reconnaissance and strike, and bolstering air defense to protect ground units from aerial threats. Each of these elements contributes to the creation of a layered, mechanized, and networked defense system. In this sense, Guarani and Sabrah are more than acquisitions. They are stepping stones toward a broader vision where the Philippine Army is no longer just an infantry-heavy force, but one capable of integrated mechanized warfare. This progression also carries profound implications for the South China Sea. By enhancing its ground forces, Manila increases the credibility of its defense of coastal and island territories. The Guarani-Sabrah combination, while modest compared to the armored brigades of major powers, sends a clear message. The Philippines is preparing to defend its sovereignty with modern, mobile, and lethal systems. It aligns with the broader US, Japan, Australia strategy of strengthening partners on China's periphery, ensuring that Manila is not a weak link in the regional security chain. From a historical perspective, the shift is nothing short of remarkable. For decades, the Philippine Army was criticized as underfunded and underprepared, more adept at fighting guerrillas than defending the nation against external threats. Today, with Guarani and Sabrah in its arsenal, the narrative is beginning to change. Soldiers who once rode into battle in outdated APCs now have access to vehicles that reflect 21st century standards. Commanders who once planned operations around infantry patrols now can envision combined arms maneuvers. And policymakers, once hesitant about mechanization, now see it as a path to both deterrence and prestige. In conclusion, the journey from Guarani to Sabrah encapsulates the broader ambition of the Philippines to build a credible, mechanized army. Guarani provides the legs, Sabrah provides the fists, and together they form the skeletal framework of a force that can evolve into something far more capable. It is an evolution born not only out of necessity, but also of vision, a recognition that in an increasingly dangerous region, only those who modernize will be taken seriously. For the Philippines, this is a beginning, not an end. The coming years will determine whether Manila can build upon this foundation with artillery, drones, and air defense to create a truly modern, mechanized force. But one thing is clear: the transition is underway, and the era of a lightly armed Philippine Army is drawing to a close. If you find this analysis valuable, I encourage you to support and follow this channel. By sharing our work, subscribing, and engaging with the community, you help us continue delivering in-depth coverage of military modernization in the Philippines and across the Asia-Pacific. Your support ensures that we can keep analyzing these crucial developments with clarity and vision.